Here I have a Pioneer DEH-P8400MP. It's a really cool radio, has dual displays and quite a few features. So for this video, I'll be showing the features, audio features, things like that. I'll also get into how to get Bluetooth on these old units, and it's a key feature I think nowadays with technology, but it's really easy to add on. So I'll show how to do that. And the way it's hooked up is with a laptop power supply that I got for cheap. It has that adapter connector that lets you plug in your power and ground wires. And I have one of the speaker outputs going to this tiny speaker. I don't have another speaker to hook it up to, so you know that should be okay for our testing right now. So getting into it, I'll power the unit on, and you can actually open it without powering on, and when you push open again, it'll do like a tilt feature, just move a little, and then push it again, it'll close. And to actually turn it on, you push the source button. There it goes. It's gonna show the radio station that it was on last. I'll go ahead and open it, and you can see the display inside. So this front display is still on, so that's really cool. Shows the volume. So anyways, how do you get Bluetooth on these old things? So it has an IP bus connector, and you just buy a cable that hooks up to it. I think the model number is something like CD-RB10 or CD-RB20, something like that. And this one specifically goes out to a 3.5mm headphone jack. The other one I believe has RCA jack, so that's the difference between them. And so you get that, connect it, and you have a headphone jack. Now I have this Bluetooth adapter from Taltronics. I think it was like 15 bucks. It's worked for me really well for over a year, probably closer to 2 years now. And it has a headphone jack, and all I got to do is get that in there, connect it to my phone, which it already is connected, as you can see, Taltronics. And then in the head unit, you'll have to go into the settings to turn on the aux, the auxiliary input. And the way you do that is you want to turn the unit off. So you hold source, turn it off, and hold the function button. And it'll bring up this hidden menu. All these Pioneers actually have that hidden menu. So they all have different options, changing the date, changing the clock or the time on the clock, other settings. So it just depends on your head unit, what it has. And you just push function repeatedly until you get to auxiliary or aux, and go ahead, turn it on by pushing the left or right keys, or up and down. There you go, up and down right here. So I'll push up, turn it on, and push source to turn it back on. I will push source again to go to the aux input. And before you could hear the radio static, but now it has the aux input. I will go on my phone to my music app, and I'll just push shuffle on my phone. Playing Hoochie Mama, there you go. Let me push next. There we go. Tell me when to go. I'll just raise it up from my phone. You can hear it getting louder. And here's my Bluetooth module. It's upside down. If I push forward on it, or next track, you can see it skips on my phone as well. Push next. Push next. I can raise the volume from this module as well.
748.
So the volume's super low, I can raise it up.
Oh my God, on my panties.
And then it has a slight beep that you can hear. That lets you know that the Bluetooth module's volume is maxed out. So we'll just, there you go. Keep it on that song for now. So I have Bluetooth. I can hide this Bluetooth module in like an ashtray or a single DIN pocket. You know, the dash kits that come with the pocket, you can just throw this in there, have the aux cable just coming out through a hole in the back and have it connected. I can also control the volume from here. So the head unit still works, all its functions are fine. And I can get into the audio functions now. So audio, you have the 3-band graphic equalizer. So that's the low. Oops, let me go back. And you'll use the left and right arrows to go through. So that's low, mid, high. Right now I think it's like on powerful, so I'll push the EQ button, change it to flat. And then when I go to audio, it's flat. All three are at 0. You can also adjust the bass level at certain frequencies. If I push left and right, it changes the frequency that it boosts. So this is 160 hertz. I can go down to 63 hertz. So it's kind of like a 2-band parametric equalizer in that regard. I can do the same thing for treble, change the frequency that I boost or cut. Loudness, I can turn the subwoofer on or off. It does have 3 pairs of RCA outs. So this one is the, hopefully you can read the clear tag, but my camera really sucks at focusing. That's the subwoofer output. Subwoofer output or non-fading. I think there's like a difference in the settings for that. I would have to read the manual. There's the rear, and this would be the front. And I believe the voltage is 4 volts for each of the RCAs, so it's that. And so yeah, you could turn the subwoofer on or off. Up and down will turn it off or on. Right and left will change the phase to reverse or normal. You can turn the high pass filter on, pushing up, and then left and right would change the frequency. And then the source level, so I can make my aux play higher or lower than my radio. Then the FM band. And then the automatic sound retriever level. This is not really something I have on, but fader. So we'll see what's. So as I move to the front, the speaker got quieter. As I move to the rear, so that means I'm on the rear and the left got quieter. So that means the purple are the rear right. There we go. That's also a good way to test out your speakers. Like if you forgot how you routed your RCAs, you can use the balance and fader to to test them out. And there's also more audio functions if you hold the audio button. These are 4 low band, 4 bands for the low frequencies. So you can so the too wide, that's gonna affect a wider range of frequencies around 80 Hertz. If you go to too narrow, it'll mainly affect 80 Hertz and very few frequencies around it. Same thing for 100. That was a low. This would be the mid. So 200 Hertz, 500 Hertz, 1K, 2K, and then this would be the highs. There you go. And then to get out of there, I guess you just push band. Get out. You can hold EQ. And it turns on the sound field equalizer. And that just, it's not really time alignment. It just adjusts the treble and bass boost for certain outputs. It's gotta see how to turn it on. There we go. So push EQ to turn it on. Front one high, front one. So you can go left, right, have it low, or high, custom, center, or off. Alright, so I'm going to be switching out of aux. I'm going to push the eject button so that the radio opens up. And I have Kendrick Lamar's Damn CD. So it plays right up. There were no weird sounds. There's no gears grinding or popping or anything like that. I'll go ahead and skip the track. So that's the album. And all skips fine. You can open it up, change the source. The aux is still working. So I will say that the song does keep playing. If I change it to tuner and leave it alone, I'll check my phone for the song progress. It's still playing. So if you're going to be using Bluetooth, I highly suggest using the Bluetooth module to pause it. So you can see that it paused. I can also push play. And also push next. I'll go ahead and pause it. That's if you don't want to move on to another song or anything like that. And I'll go ahead and put the CD back in. Let's try this out. I push open. It doesn't open all the way. It does the tilt. I push open again. It does allow me to put the CD in. Then it goes back to being fully open. Let me try to open it up and eject the disc. I guess it doesn't. Let's try to close. Huh. That's weird. I didn't close it all the way, but it still ejected the disc. from the closed position, it goes straight to ejecting. That's fine. Huh. I guess you have to close the unit in order to eject the CD. That's one quirk, I guess. But, I mean, it all works, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Then push source to turn it back on. Change the aux. Push play on my Bluetooth module. And I got another song playing. There you go. The way I have it hooked up is from my phone. I'll be playing a YouTube video, and it is connected to this Bluetooth adapter that is connected to through a headphone jack to the IP bus connector, and from there it'll go into the head unit and it'll come out of the RCA jacks. I'll test each of the 6 RCA outputs, and the other end of that RCA jack is stripped back, and the positive and negative are hooked up to the test lead from my oscilloscope. And right now I have a 40 Hertz 0 dB tone playing, and the volume is really low, so it's not that strong of a signal, but I'll go ahead and raise the volume and change some audio settings as well. So I'm going to raise the volume to the highest output, which is 62, and my oscilloscope still reads clean at a little less than 1 volt. I'm going to replay the video. Just under 1 volt. I have the high pass filter off, but it's 40 Hertz. So I'll go into the audio section. I will boost the low end of the EQ all the way up. I will boost the bass up to level 5. And I've already tested all these out, and it comes out clean, surprisingly. And I'm gonna boost the subwoofer all the way up as well for the subwoofer outputs. High pass filter off, and the source level all the way up. And that's it. So if I go to my signal, it reads 4.01 volts clean. There's no clipping or anything weird happening. So I'll go ahead and pull out the RCA jack, and I'll test the other front output. And it is kind of hard to get this with one hand. I'll come back to my oscilloscope, and you can see that it also reads 4.01 volts clean. Then I will go to my rear output, that was my rear. Now I'll go to the front outputs. Now is the front. So I'll do the red first. And we can see that my video is ended, so I'll restart it. The signal is coming in, 4.01 clean. Unplug that from the red. I'll go to the white. Looks like it got disconnected from my lead. I have 4.01 volts clean again. Go ahead and unhook it. Now I'll do the subwoofer outputs. And I was actually able to get a little more voltage from the sub outputs. So right now you can see that it's clipping at 5.04. But if I turn the volume down to like 55 or 56, let me try 56, and it is still clipping at 5.04. Let me turn it down one click, take it down to 55, and you can see that the video is over. Restarting, signal comes in and it reads 4.56 volts clean. That's from the red. Now I'll go to the white. And this time it's reading 4.63 volts clean. So this has some really clean output, very good. And that's through the aux and Bluetooth, not even the CD quality, or oh my gosh, not even the CD or radio. And radio is not going to be that clean anyways, but the CD would definitely be cleaner. But I don't have a CD with test zones to test it out. But that just goes to show you how great these old Pioneer head units are.